Disclaimer: the following is a true crime-style dramatization of pre-existing fictional media. The rights to said media belong to their respective rights holders, and any resemblance to persons living or dead not stated in the original media is merely coincidental, and honestly, would be pretty wild.
Hello and welcome back to Real Strange Tales, where we delve into the strange, violent, mysterious, and macabre tales that take place in our real world. I'm your host and narrator, Mike Howes, aka Slaughterhouse.
And I am also your host, Cody McLaughlin.
No nickname?
Please respect my privacy.
Okay, today it's kind of weird, but today we're going to talk about a family's dinner get-together that goes awry.
Oh, like Thanksgiving.
I mean, kinda, I guess.
I'm also your host, Cody McLaughlin, aka Cody McBachbachen.
You just diving in there like that?
I thought of that one, like a turkey.
I think barking is a chicken thing, man. Turkeys gobble, and this didn't take place on Thanksgiving.
What are you, bird expert?
No, I just went to kindergarten.
Okay, and your privilege is showing, big dog.
You went to kindergarten too. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but you remember it.
I'm just going to start the case now.
In 2013, the Davidson family ventured out into their vacation home in a heavily wooded area in Missouri.
More vacation homes? Is this more rich white folk?
I did say it was a dinner party.
They do seem easiest to take out.
I think it's more so that they're more likely to be targeted because they have something that someone may want.
I guess, yeah. Unless you have some sicko who just likes killing, like Michael or the grabber guy, they're more likely to go after someone to gain something, right? What are these freaks after now?
That's a lot to get into. So why don't we meet the family first?
The Davidson family had grown estranged, but now Paul, the patriarch, had retired from his career in marketing for a defense contractor, and he wanted to put an effort into spending time with his children and mending the broken bridges between them. He and his wife Aubrey invited their 4 children and their respective significant others to a family reunion and dinner party to begin the healing process, as well as celebrate their 35th anniversary.
Oh. Nobody can hold a grudge like an old rich white guy with a vacation house, so, props to him for attempting to fix it. But the marketing for a defense contractor, that sounds iffy.
Buy Blasco brand drones. Make drone strikes fun with 7 different color options.
Yeah, like, how the hell do you even market that stuff? There's only one entity that buys that shit. I really hope. You want things that go boom? We make things that go boom. You buy things that go boom.
Their son Drake brought his wife Kelly. Their son Felix had brought his new girlfriend Z. Their daughter Amy brought her independent filmmaker boyfriend Tariq. Their son Crispin, a college writing professor, attended with his new girlfriend and former student, and former teaching assistant Aaron.
Ooh, jeez.
Yeah, dating someone who worked for you is kind of questionable. Someone you taught is worse. Like, think of the power dynamic there.
Yeah, that would be like us dating. You bossing me around?
Yeah, I think the statement was enough. You don't need to provide examples.
Changing the dress code so I show off this milky white midriff and there's nothing I can do about it.
Paul and Aubrey prepared the house as their children arrived to greet them, unaware of the fate soon to befall them, and the fate that had already befell their closest neighbor. Eric Carson had been entertaining his girlfriend Talia the night before, when someone snuck in and slaughtered the couple with a machete, the words "You're next" written on the window in blood.
Oh, a machete? Is this the hockey player guy?
Gregory Gumtree?
No, the guy, well, not hockey player guy, the hockey mask and machete guy.
Oh, no, this is not about the Crystal Lake Madman.
Gotcha.
We'll get to that whole thing a ways down the road, but for now, back to this one.
Things started in a friendly manner at the dinner table while they all attempted to be cordial and not cause a scene, though the already strained relationships could only withstand so much time together before an argument erupted and grew into a shouting match, at which point Tariq got up and stared out the window.
Probably was struck with inspiration to leave Amy for someone younger and then make a movie about how hard women have it.
Is that your critique of indie filmmakers?
Or he can make a movie about how bad he treated her, but frame it in a way that they're both in the wrong.
Oh, I know who you're talking about, but he sucks. Let's get back to this.
The other family heard the sound of broken glass. They quickly realized that Tariq had been hit directly between the eyes by a crossbow bolt fired through the window.
Jesus. Now I kind of feel bad for the guy.
Yeah, he only ever produced one documentary before his passing.
Shit, still more movies than we've ever made. So congrats, man.
You're congratulating a dead filmmaker on only making one movie?
I don't know, man. I don't know how to talk about the dead or talk to the grieving or just talk to people.
The bolts began flying rapidly into the dining room, causing the family to duck for cover. Paul took a bolt through the leg, and Drake took one in the back, saving his mother.
Hell yeah, saving your mom is cool as shit.
I don't think that's a statement people would disagree with.
Everyone out there, save your moms whenever you get the chance.
They attempted to call for help, but something was jamming their cell signals.
We need that for when we make videos.
A signal jammer?
Think of how much we'd get done without our phones, Mike.
Just set your phone on the other side of the room.
You know I don't have the willpower. I need someone to forcibly make it not work.
Alright, I'll look into a signal jammer then.
Hey, wait a few minutes. I'm gonna watch these reels you sent me.
Aaron acted quickly, using chairs so that each family member could shield themselves to run past the window to safety, and she coached the family on how to treat Drake's wound, as the bolt was wedged too deep to pull out.
Could he still, walk?
Yeah, it was closer to his shoulder than his spine.
Oh, well, at least it's still something he can heal from after this is over.
Felix suggested someone make a run for it to get help, with Paul's leg injured, Drake losing blood, and Crispin not in good enough shape to make a run for it. Amy volunteered.
What? No! You're somewhere he can't get you. Just wait. He'll get bored, come after whatever he's after, then the whole family can just have a good time stomping on him.
Has your family ever delivered a beatdown?
No, but I really want it.
Mine has.
Yeah, but that's less surprising because the members of your family have, a collective 300 years in jail between them.
Yeah, they do be wild.
The plan was for Paul and Felix to swing open both of the front doors, giving Amy the chance to burst outside at full speed, allowing the shooter no time to act before she was to safety.
I don't know, man. Still seems iffy, but I'm saying that as someone who would probably trip.
Make it out the door and then just your knee gives out. You're like, my knee, help!
Yeah.
Unfortunately for Amy, an escape attempt was accounted for. As she ran out of the front door at full speed, she was stopped in her tracks by a length of garrote wire hung at neck level, opening her throat.
Jesus! How did he know who they'd send? Or how tall she'd be?
We'll get the answer to that once this story unfolds.
Amy was pulled back inside, bleeding out on the floor. Her family watched as she eventually passed away.
Hey, was she attempting to speak?
We're not having that argument again.
Witnessing this, Aubrey was hysterical and inconsolable, so Paul helped her upstairs and put her to sleep as the family covered up the body, and Aaron ran through the house, locking the windows.
Yeah, Erin knows what's up. That's why all her blood is still in her.
The family heard a scream from upstairs and went to check on Aubrey, but it was too late. Someone had slaughtered her with a machete in the same fashion as the next-door neighbors. "You're next," once again written in blood.
Man, I wish I still had that kind of confidence. To leave notes for people, just trusting that they'll get them, you know?
Not really, no.
Back when Sarah and I first started dating, I would visit her at work, leave little love notes, but they were always gone by the time she was in the vicinity of where I put them. Now, at night, I kind of just wonder which strangers think they had a secret admirer who called them their little schmuppy.
That's what this made you think of?
The brain is a complex and unexplainable machine, Mike.
Oh, alright, moving on.
Schmuppy, if you're out there, drop us a comment. Let me know how you are.
While the family was upstairs and Erin was in the kitchen locking up, she was attacked through the window by someone dressed in all black, including gloves, and wearing a tiger mask. But Erin used a knife to pin him to the window frame by the wrist. He dislodged it and escaped before she could grab another weapon.
A tiger mask?
Yeah, a tiger mask.
That's uncalled for. But what quality are we talking? Trick or Treat Studios or like paper plate and Crayola markers?
Like those flimsy plastic 1980s dollar store ones.
Oh. Was he wearing a plastic smock that said lion?
Who said it was a he?
You did. Aaron used a knife to pin him to the window frame.
Oh, right.
Were you trying to trick me?
Just trying to keep an air of mystery about the whole thing.
Try harder, baby.
The Davidson boys comforted their father as Kelly stayed behind to cover up the body of her mother-in-law. Shortly after, Kelly began to scream as she ran out of the front door, ducking under the wire. Nobody was quite sure what she saw or heard that scared her, as the last time they saw her alive, she was loudly screaming as she disappeared into the woods.
What do you think she saw? Like a ghost?
Or perhaps the killer?
I mean, that makes sense, but I'll be damned if I ever give up my sense of wonder.
Drake attempted to chase after his wife, ducking under the wire as well, but it caught the crossbow bolt sticking out of his back. In frustration, he pulled it out.
Ooh, just the thought of that makes me wince. Can't like it.
Between the blood loss, the painkillers, and the shock of seeing just how deep the bolt had been in his body, Drake passed out.
I know how that goes, but I was having way more fun when it happened to me.
Man.
What I mean is...
With Paul injured and Drake unconscious, Aaron, Crispin, Felix, and Z began planning to wait out the night, but Crispin decided to make another attempt at making a run for it. He said his goodbyes and made his way out the door to get help.
I would have just had everyone run out there at once. Let's all get to safety.
What about Paul who can't run and Drake who isn't awake?
Like they're really gonna stab someone unconscious?
I literally just told you about Drake's mother being butchered in her bed.
Right? Yeah, I don't know then. I'd do this staying put and beaten ass thing until then. Though if the numbers dwindle much more, I'd just try and trick Tony the Tiger into thinking I'm on his side, like all those stupid ass kids at laser tag.
Aaron had Z and Felix help remove Drake to an open area beneath a window and use curtains to hide him. Aaron then began gathering weapons for the remaining members of the family, but was stopped in her tracks by a body crashing through the window, followed by the Tiger, axe in hand. He raised the axe high above his head as Aaron sat helpless on the ground.
Damn. She seemed like she knew what was up. I don't know who to root for now.
You might not have to choose after all.
Good, because I was going to cross my fingers for Z because I'm a gentleman, but that's a real stupid name.
Aaron avoided the axe with a well-timed roll. She then used a meat tenderizer from the pile of weapons to take out his knee, then used it to cave in the back of his head after he fell.
That's my girl!
Yeah, took his ass out.
I thought this was going to be a longer one, really. But it's cool that it wasn't super drawn out. She had a chance to hit him. She hit him. He dead. Wait, what are you doing?
Aaron removed the mask and asked Felix and Z if they recognized him. They didn't. However, they did recognize the other body in the room, as the Tiger had used Kelly's body to break through the window. There were signs of a struggle between her and the man who ended her life. Her suffering ended by a blow to the head from his trusty axe.
Oh, that's sad. Just for once, the she was never seen alive thing, I would like it to be an unrelated death. Something lighter, like she thought she made it away from the killer. She had some froyo, but little did she know it contained banana, to which she was very allergic.
Was that voice supposed to be me?
I don't know.
Okay, well, I wouldn't call one death lighter than another. We still lose a person.
Dude, come on.
What?
You're saying every way to die is equally sad.
In general, yeah. I mean, a person is gone from the earth.
Okay, but what if, like, they're dressed like a clown? Or if they fall down and look all weird and funny?
This is not an argument I'm going to have.
What about a politician?
Okay, yeah. I'll give you that one.
In the chaos, Paul had made his way upstairs to get revenge on the man who took his wife, finding a small area in a closet where the masked assailant had been camping out with a sleeping bag, several food wrappers, as well as bottles of water and urine.
Okay, so how do they know it was bottles of water and urine and not just, like, weak urine?
It was bottles of water and bottles of urine, not bottles of water mixed with varying amounts of urine.
I was going to say, that does not make it last longer.
Last longer for what?
Hey, why is Paul still playing around with piss like that? He didn't hear them tenderizing the tiger downstairs?
Tenderizing the tiger is a great new euphemism.
Gross, Mike. Jesus, too far.
You were just talking about the shelf life of piss.
Yeah, because I have scruples. Did I use that right?
Yeah.
The power to the house was shut off. Felix and Z went upstairs to find Paul, while Aaron went into the basement to try finding a breaker.
Dude, what is her deal? Why is she so good at not getting chopped up with a machete?
We'll, get into it later.
Aaron found the breaker and turned the lights on, but then heard a scream coming from upstairs, followed by the sound of the dinner table being flipped. She made it to the basement door and listened to the footsteps draw closer. She peered through the keyhole, only to have her gaze met by that of a man with a lamb mask.
She took out a tiger and now she's supposed to be scared of a little lamb whose fleece was white as snow?
He was actually wearing all black.
No, Mike, it's a nursery rhyme.
What's a nursery rhyme?
The one about the little lamb? Mary had one.
Who's Mary? I have no idea what you're talking about.
You cannot be for real. You're fucking with me, right?
I am.
Okay.
The lamb began to tear through the door with the axe, but was distracted by Drake, who had woken up and groggily wandered into the hallway, drawing the lamb's attention in rage. Aaron took the opportunity to open the basement door and jam an ice pick into his back, making him drop the axe, which Drake grabbed. The lamb retreated and ran back outside.
Drake has like 3% of his blood left, and he's still kicking the second most ass out of everyone.
Felix and Z came downstairs and said they'd put Paul to bed.
What? No. You know what happened when you dipshits put your parents to bed?
Yeah, that doesn't seem like a lesson they're going to learn anything from.
Put him in Drake's cute little curtain fort. Now that he's up or something. Damn.
Felix and Drake went upstairs to see what weapons they could gather from the basement, while Aaron had Z help her set up booby traps, including nails and boards, set at the bases of the windows.
But that's where Drake sleeps.
Aaron went upstairs to check on Paul, but he was already gone, his throat cut on the floor.
See? Bed equals dead.
While standing over the body, Aaron sensed she wasn't alone in the room.
It's the ghost that Kelly saw.
Aaron turned to see a man in a fox mask closing in on her with a machete.
A fox? Okay. Happy middle there. Less scary than a tiger, less dumb than a little lamb.
Aaron immediately hurled herself from the second-story window.
You can't kill me, that's my job! Yeah!
You think that was her goal? No, me first?
Why else would you jump out of a window unless you're maybe like Tony Hawk and there's a sick ramp under it? Name one reason.
To get away from the guy in the fox mask with the machete.
Aaron got up and ran into the woods to have camouflage as she dislodged a shard of glass from her leg.
Oh wait, for real? I thought falling from a second story was just like automatic ghost. Unless, as previously stated, you're Tony Hawk.
I mean, that fall would hurt Tony Hawk too, but yeah, it is survivable.
Don't disrespect Tony Hawk like that.
The lamb once again began to pursue her, aiming his crossbow at her as she ran back into the house and locked the door.
Wait, the lamb had the crossbow?
Yeah, the lamb seemed to be the crossbow expert of the trio.
That's weird. I would think it would be the fox.
Why none of them have fingers?
I can't scientifically say for sure that foxes have good eyesight, but I imagine of the three animals, he's clearly the most accurate of them.
Right on. That actually makes sense, but I don't think they chose the mask based on their abilities or signature weapons.
Okay, way to make it sound like a video game, but actually, just thought of this, the lamb should have had the axe since lambs live on farms, and farms also have axes.
I think deducing what animals would use were they serial killers might be a hidden talent of yours.
Oh no, I don't hide it. At least not anymore. Obviously, the machete would go to the tiger.
Oh yeah? I'm excited to hear this one hit me.
Yeah, they're both the last one left.
Oh.
Aaron sat in the window space where she had previously hidden Drake. The lamb climbed into the window once more, but this time stepped directly on the board with nails that Aaron had laid out.
Gotcha, bitch!
The lamb shrieked in terror, jumping up and down to free his foot.
I can just picture him shouting, "Bah! Bah!
I think that's a goat.
Meh!"
I think that's a sheep.
Well, what goddamn sound does a lamb make?
No idea.
Erin listened from her hiding place as Felix and Z came downstairs to find the lamb. Felix made mention of paying the men in the animal mask to do the deed.
They just killed his family and Felix wants to throw a handful of cash at them to fool around and he can watch?
The deed is as... Are you serious? The deed as in, like, taking out the family. The murders.
The deed means different things to us, apparently.
She also overheard Felix mention that he had to take out Drake himself while berating the lamb. Drake's body was later found in the basement, having been stabbed at least 5 times. The instruments used to do so still stuck into his body.
That's rough.
Yeah, I can't imagine what it's like to be taken out by your brother like that, huh?
Oh, no, that's very much in the realm of possibility. But being taken out by a brother that has to stab me with 5 different things after I've already been bleeding out for a couple hours?
Yeah, it does sound like a torturous way to go.
I don't know what would be more painful, the stabbing or the disappointment in my little brother failing to stab me fatally after almost, half dozen times? I don't want my last words with my dying breath to just be, pussy.
I'm an only child. My parents had me and said, oh, God, not doing that again. But I'd venture to guess that the more painful part would be the stabbing.
Erin learned through the ensuing argument that Felix had hired these men to kill his family, stage it like a home invasion, and leave Felix and Z alive so that he would get their inheritance sooner without having to split it.
But they didn't count on Crisp Ian's lady friend?
Crispin.
Oh. Well, they didn't count on Crispin's lady friend who is good at murder, so, no, for real, what is her deal?
We'll get there.
The tiger that Erin had already taken out was the lamb's brother, explaining his enraged state after finding the body. Felix promised the lamb to give him his brother's share of the payment. The 3 men in animal masks were ex-soldiers, whose names were redacted by the U.S. government before this incident hit the media.
I'm getting real tired of these people working for corporations or the government just doing awful, awful, awful things, and then daddy capitalism getting their names wiped. Tell me who they are!
Unfortunately for Erin, she attempted to send an emergency text when the incident first occurred, as it required less signal than a phone call and could potentially bypass the jammer. But in that exact instant, the response at last arrived, causing her phone to chime, drawing the attention of Felix, Z, and the fox.
That absolutely would not have happened to me.
Oh, you think you would have remembered to turn your phone down even if there were signal jammers active?
No, I would have thrown it at the first scary guy and never looked back.
As the fox drew closer to his prey, machete in hand, Erin readied herself, punching him in the throat and making a run for it. She ran out of the door, using her head start to sneak back in through the window as Felix, Z, and the fox ran into the woods. The lamb, slowed down by his injury, trailed behind, but on a hunch, he limped back toward the window.
Like a lamb to the...
Erin, waiting by the window, plunged a knife into his forehead, turning him into a corpse before he hit the ground.
Slaughter!
Erin used her lead time to rig a trap at the front door, hanging the tiger's axe from a string contraption that would trigger upon opening the door, swinging down into its target.
Dude, it is cool that she's running around setting traps. Kind of like that one guy that killed all those people.
Which guy?
The one that rigged up all those, wacky traps.
Oh, you mean Jigsaw, John Kramer?
No. The one that's still alive.
Oh, Mark Hoffman.
No, the one that always tortured people at Christmas time and then they tried to get, Donald Trump to pardon him?
Oh, Kevin McAllister. Yeah. She is adept at setting traps like Kevin McAllister. But unlike him, she's doing it for self-defense and not some sick, twisted form of pleasure.
That man creeps me out.
Realizing she had tricked them, the fox returned to the house, avoiding the traps. Erin ran to the basement, using a brick to shatter the light bulbs. Erin then set up the flash bulb on a digital camera to obscure his vision. She closed in and bashed his head in with a log.
I was expecting more of a fight from him. He's a fox, foxes are, crafty?
So were tigers.
Okay, true. They all should have been something less scary than foxes and tigers, but more scary than lambs.
All right, such as?
Off the top of my head, hippo, giraffe. There's this possum that bullies me when I take out the trash.
I want to question your choices, but I don't know which one to single out first, so we're just going to move on.
Aaron returned to the ground floor where a bolt from the crossbow entered through the window, fired by Felix. He missed.
I can see why this guy hired assassins. Jesus, I'm embarrassed for him.
Aaron dropped to the ground and scrambled away as Felix and Z approached the house. Z checked the kitchen where Aaron got her into a chokehold. Felix charged in. Aaron threw a pot of oil she had previously boiled in case of attack at him. Though it had already cooled, it caused him to slip onto the floor. Z managed to free herself, but Aaron hit her in the back of the head with the empty pot.
I hate this guy. He's bad at everything. No wonder he needs his parents' money. He'd probably die of a paper cut trying to fill out a job application.
Z began to attack Aaron, who used the kitchen door to hit Felix in the face. While she was distracted with Z, Felix stabbed her in the shoulder with one of the knives scattered about.
Again? Shoulder? Dude, I want him to lose. He seems like an ass and a half. But have some self-respect. Does he not know where any organs are?
Aaron grabbed a nearby blender and shattered the glass over Felix's head before driving the blades into his skull and plugging it in, mulching his brain.
Ooh, I'm assuming she did a badass one-liner like, anyone for smoothies?
Do you not know what women sound like? But no, she was busy with the other person trying to kill her.
Aaron then pulled the knife from her shoulder and planted it into the top of Z's skull.
See, Felix? Very simple equation. Person plus blade plus vital organ equals corpse. And that's what we call girl math.
Oh, is that what girl math is? I see videos about it all the time, but I've never looked into it.
I'll be honest, I don't fucking know, Mike. I bet her boyfriend's gonna feel like a dick when he comes back and finds out she took out, like, what, 5 people? By herself? And he was out prancing in the woods.
Prancing in the woods is what we call boy dinner.
Exhausted and safe at last, Aaron sank to the floor between her two most recent bodies. Felix's phone began to ring. It was Crispin. He asked if the job was done. Aaron didn't answer. Crispin apologized for chickening out on their plan. Aaron remained silent and waited for Crispin to return to the house.
Dude, what were the Davidsons doing with these boys? They're all duplicitous bitches. Except Drake. Drake went full pincushion and took it like a champ. Hashtag justice for Drake.
Crispin returned to the house, entering through the window to find Aaron the last man standing, ready to confront him. He said that the plan was for Aaron and Z to be the witnesses that could back up the statement that 3 random men attacked the house, and she would have gotten her share of the money. Aaron responded by stabbing him in the neck, then the eye.
Serves that fool right. Hell yeah, girl.
However, a police officer who arrived at the scene saw this through the window and fired a shot into her shoulder.
What the hell? Is it like a regional thing? Like a local custom to go for someone's shoulder first? I mean, the cop is supposed to try not to shoot to kill, but like the shoulder again?
He called for backup and approached the front door.
Oh no.
Aaron sat up and began pleading with him not to enter.
That's not good.
The officer turned the knob in a clockwise motion and opened the door. The axe swung down at him, ending his life.
Okay.
Aaron was taken in for questioning, where it was determined that she was acting in self-defense, but still served time for the officer caught in her trap. It was revealed that Aaron was raised on a survivalist camp with her father and several other like-minded individuals who wanted to live off of the grid and prepare for the apocalypse. She was taught skills to survive the end of the world, all of which she put to the test that night at the Davidson mansion.
All of them?
I think so.
I don't know. I'm sure there was some weird shit they learned that just wouldn't apply.
Such as?
Opening a can of beans without a can opener?
Fine, all of her skills except for opening cans of beans without can openers.
Thank you.
And this is our last segment where I inquire about Cody's expert opinion on the matter. Cody, 2 questions. First, this happens to you. What's your strategy?
Lasagna.
What?
Hiding, eating lasagna, because I already threw my phone and that's the only trick in my bag. But I wouldn't aim for anyone's shoulder. Yeah, that was 2 questions.
No, though, what was a follow-up to the original? I still have another question.
Oh, damn. Okay, what?
Say that we're hired to take a family out. What masks
Raccoon and polar bear.
I didn't even finish.
Don't have to. What's next?
Well, next time we're taking a trip to one of America's most infamous cities and getting into a little bit of a clown business.
Oh, sounds hot. Everyone, remember to do the YouTube stuff if you enjoyed it. Like, subscribe, comment. Help us keep doing this. And remember to keep it real.
And keep it strange. Thanks for joining us.